Alright, welcome back once again to Cloud Genius. My name is Penty Joseph. In this video, I'll be taking you through the Model 6 guided lab. That is creating a virtual private cloud. So without wasting much time, let's start the lab. To do that, you click on Start Lab and then you wait for the lab to load. Depending on your internet speed, it might take some time, sometimes 2-3 minutes. Mine is ready. So um, please take note that the lab is supposed to, I think the duration is 3 hours. Yes, it's indicated right here. So since we've started with the lab, let's log on to the console and then have a look at what we are to do. Okay, so this is the objectives of the lab. This is the objective of the lab. And then we have the architecture diagram right beneath that. But I don't really have time to go through that. I've already gone through it. You can see I've already done the lab and I've scored 45 over the 45. So you can have a look at the architecture diagram and all that if you want to have a deeper understanding of what you are to do. Without wasting much time, I'll quickly start with the tasks that I'm supposed to do. So the first task we are asked to do is to create a virtual private cloud, VPC. Um, what are the details? Okay, shared. Okay. Okay. So let's look at that. We are supposed to create a VPC. So in the search box here, type VPC. Select VPC. They said you go to your VPC. It was indicated somewhere here. You go to your VPC. You should know that you have a shared VPC and a default one. Okay, so let's check if your VPC, we are supposed to have two. Okay, and the default VPC, yes, it's available, but that is not what we are looking at. So we want to start creating our VPC. To start creating your own VPC, click on um, create VPC like this, and then what's the name for the VPC? Even though it's optional, they ask us to give it a name. Um, so uh, okay, so the VPC name is supposed to be Lab VPC, as you can see, is indicated right here. So the name is Lab VPC. So the CDR block is 10.0. Okay, so let's copy this, paste. So it's indicated right here. Is that 16? And then click on Create VPC. Create VPC. Good. From the 9, there is something we will have to do on the VPC. We need to enable DNS hostname. So to do that, kindly click on Actions, Edit VPC Settings. Scroll down till you see DNS settings. Select this. Save this settings. Okay. So DNS hostname is enabled now. What again are we to look at? You see hostname DNS, it's enabled. Okay, so we are on the task 2. We are done with task 1 now. We are to create a subnet. Okay, so we are to create a subnet. Okay, we select the subnet. Okay, so in the left panel, we select our subnet from the left panel. You can see it's stated as subnet. Try to refresh this and then go through it. You can start creating. But first of all, let's go and look at what we are asked to create first. Okay. So the public is supposed to be first. So you click on create subnet and then you give it the name as public subnet. Okay. So create that. To do that, click on the when you come to the subnet section, click on create subnet. Select the VPC you are creating the subnet again. In this case, it's the lab VPC. So my subnet name is as stated public subnet. Availability zone, select the first availability zone, and then you have the CDIR that you are supposed to input. It is /24 /24 then. So um, you can copy it from here. Make sure that you don't add any space to that. I think lab has been for a very long time. So let me try refreshing that because I'm getting an error. So let's create that. Okay, good. It is now. Okay. So we can go ahead and create the public subnets. We can go ahead and create the public subnets. So I need only the read me. I don't need any other. Supposed to launch them now. What's happening? So sorry. Let me reload this once again. I need to be sure that it's responsive before we can continue. If not, I might not be able to submit it. So initializing, I don't need the terminal, I only need the readme files. Okay, so let's go on. It's now refreshed and then we are done with this. Still also creating that. Okay, so we are done. We have created the public subnets with a CDR of 24 last, which I think we can see it right here. Yeah, 24 last. Okay, good. What again are we asked to do? Select the public subnets, enable and edit subnet, enable to IP. Okay, so the subnet that we have created, select that, go to actions, edit subnet, and then scroll down till you see auto assign IP settings. Select that and then click on save. So, so it's enabled now, private. So, okay, good. So we have to create another subnet with the name private subnet. Okay, so you can see it's indicated here. Use what you learn to create another subnet with these settings. The subnet name is going to be private subnet with this CDIR and then all the infos here. So let's click on create subnet once again. VPC again is lab VPC, and then our what did I copy first? Is it, yes. So private cloud is copied, and then what again? The CDIR is supposed to be copied. So you can likewise type it. Okay. So its availability zone is the first availability zone. When you click it, the first one that you show, you can just select that, and then um, you cannot change the CDR log here. This one is for that of the VPC. Okay, so you can change at the second one, input it, and then select Okay, it's selected. So you can go on and create the availabilities, sorry, the subnets. Oh, I don't need to give them a feedback. I don't need this. Okay. Thanks to them, but I don't need that. Okay, so let's see if we are having our subnets created. Okay, I'm seeing the public one. Okay, the private one is also here. So I feel like everything is intact. What are we to do next? After that, okay. So create an internet gateway. Okay, we have to create an internet gateway. In fact, we are done with the tax 2. We are moving on to tax 3. So we are supposed to create an internet gateway. The internet gateway name is Lab IGW, which is Lab Internet Gateway. Okay. So also on the left side, search through, click on Internet Gateway. There is one already. That's not what we are looking at. Let's create our own. Create Internet Gateway. The name is what we have already copied. So go ahead and create the Internet Gateway. It's now created. Now we need to attach the Internet Gateway to a VPC. Okay, you can see here the status is detached. It's not attached to any VPC. So what do we do? Let's attach it to our VPC. We can click here and click on attach, or likewise we can click on this showing here attach VPC, just like this, and then it will ask you what VPC you want to attach it to. It's not the shared one. Kindly choose the lab VPC that you have created and then click on attach the gateway. So now the gateway is attached. Okay, now the gateway is attached now. So, okay, the gateway is attached now. So you can see it. We were asked to attach it, and that is exactly what we have done. We have attached the gateway to our VPC. Okay, all right. So configuring route tables, we have to configure a route table. That is the tax 4. We are moving, we are done with the tax 3, we are moving to tax 4. So we are to create route tables. Let's click on route tables as usual from the left side. And then what do we do? Route tables, scroll right to VPC column, now VPC. Okay, left side select VPC. Okay, then enter the new private name. Okay, so routes, private this, then choose. Okay, I understand what's been asked to do. So all what they are saying is kindly refresh this. Sometimes it doesn't show. So when you come to the route table, refresh this. Then scroll this bar here until you see the lab VPC. Okay, so lab VPC like this. We look at the lab VPC like this. Okay, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. So let me just click route tables. Okay, you see, come and select it here like this. After it's selected, try to bring your mouse pointer here. You see this pen, click on it. You see it's selected. Then paste what you have copied, Control plus V. If you do this, it's going to ask you a whole lot of things that you might not be able to input. So just like this, click it, right click, and then don't do this. Just right click, put the cursor there, Control plus V. It's going to paste that, or you can likewise type it if you want to private route table. So the private route table is successfully created, just like they are asking us to do. We didn't create that. We've just changed that because when you create a VPC, it has auto private what subnet, which is what we are using. So we are just renaming it so that for indicational purposes, we will know that okay, this is the private, this is the public. That is why we have done that. So, and then again, in the lower half of the page, choose route tab. Then okay, we will now create a public round table. Okay, so because we have the the app is going to communicate with the internet, we need the public route table to also do that. So the name is going to be public route table. So we need to create that. For that, we need to create from scratch. We are creating that. The VPC as well is lab VPC. Don't forget that. So create the table. That is the route table. Mm. Okay. So in the route, they said we should choose edit route, and then um, we add route to this. The route is going to come from anywhere on the internet, but specifically navigating it to the internet gateway. Then we choose the internet gateway from here. So look at the process carefully. First of all, you choose this 00, meaning anywhere on the internet, specifically through internet gateway. After the internet gateway, click on that. You will see the internet gateway that we have already created. Don't forget that we give it IGW. Okay, that is what I said. That's internet gateway. So we've selected that and then click save. Now we see. Now because this is a public IP or route table, we need to associate it through the public subnet. Okay. Right now it's not associated to any subnet. So let's associate it to a subnet. Okay. Its default subnet should be changed. So let's associate it to a subnet. So click here, click let me go back and then take you through this again. In the route table, we are not doing this to the private. No, we are not doing this to the private. Did we do that to the private? If we did, then we made a mistake. So no, we didn't do that to the private. It's only selected. So going to perform operations. We are not asking you to perform any operation. Okay. So let's refresh this. So let's select the public route and then select subnet association. So you see, you can come back to the route table just like this. You come back to the route table just like this. So let me deselect this, refresh that, get hold of the public table, select it like this. And then you can go and check the route if it's indeed what you routed it for. So you can see it's routed through the internet gateway. Yes. And then click on subnet associations. Okay. Currently, it's not associated to any subnet here. So click on edit subnet association and come and choose the public subnet. Make sure you choose the public subnet. Click save. So you can see it's also here, subnet association. So yes, we have associated that to a public subnet. Choose save. Okay. So this is what we have done in this lab so far. I mean the task 4. This is what we've done. It's indicated here. Let's move on to the task 5. What are we to do? We are supposed to create a security group. Yes. Okay. So the security group name is going to be AppSG. Let's copy that, which the description is going to allow traffic, HTTP traffic. So in the left side of the VPC dashboard, also search through, or you find under the security, you will see security groups. Refresh this one more time. You see some already security group created. You are going to create yours. So click on create security group. Now the name is going to be exactly this. Okay. AppSG. Description is going to be allow HTTP traffic. Copy. And it's just that. The VPC is going to be your VPC. Okay. So what again are they asking us to do? So select the VPC and default and select that. Go down to the bottom and create security group. Okay, let's create the security group. And then in this security group, we are supposed to add an inbound rule. Okay, so what is the inbound rule of that? So you can see, go up my mouse. So you can see the name and everything that they are telling us to edit the inbound rules and then allow HTTP to flow through on port 80. So what are we doing? Are we allowing it the internet anywhere? HTTP, just it, HTTP, anywhere IPv4. Okay, so copy. Right at where you created the security group, you will see edit inbound rules here. So edit inbound rules, add inbound rule, change this from custom to HTTP, not HTTPS, HTTP. Take note of that. Forwarding on port 80. Okay. So custom anywhere IPv4, just like the lab stated. Okay, anywhere IPv4, and then descriptions should be what I'm going to paste. Allow web access is right here. You can also copy that. Allow web access. So save that. So the security group is now attached to it's now allowing HTTP traffic to flow through that. Okay, so that's 6. We are launching a web server or web application. Okay, so the name of the web application is going to be called what? App server. So let's duplicate this. To do that, just click on here, then right click and then select duplicate from here. I don't need any of this. Close it. So go to AWS. In the search bar, type EC2 for me. EC2. Allow it to load. Select EC2 from the drop down. Now we are going to launch an instance. Okay, an instance is just like a laptop. So we are going to launch a virtual laptop. Okay, on AWS. Then we will use it to run an application. Because don't forget you need a laptop or a PC to run your application. So click on launch instance. The instance name is app server, as you can see from here. And then go through the contents of what they are asking you to do. That is on the lab, what they're asking you to do. I've read that, so I'm just going to go ahead and create that. So app name is app server. Choose this Amazon Linux. It's exactly what they are requiring you to do. Leave it on this Amazon Linux 2023 AMI. Leave it there. Then T2 micro is what the lab requires. When you get to this key, click here and then select VOC key. Okay, select that. When you get to the network settings, select edit and then in the VPC section, select your lab VPC. In the subnet section, select the public subnet and then make sure it's on enable auto IP auto assigned IP address. Okay, make sure it's enabled and then to select a security group, click here, select an existing security group, drop down menu, make sure you see app sgin. That is the security group that you created. Don't forget you created it to allow HTTP to flow through. So select that, leave here as default, go down, click on advanced. Let me put this thing here. Okay. Click on advanced. In the advanced tab, you will see IAM instance profile. Click on that and then select inventory app role. Okay, we are assigning a role to the application that we are going to deploy or the instance so that the instance can communicate with other what instances. Okay, good. So scroll down. When you are done with that, scroll down till you meet this white thing. Then copy all of this up to here. Copy everything and then come back to where you are creating the instance and put it in this. Paste everything here. Okay, these are just scripts telling the web server what to do when it starts. Okay, so click on launch instance. Let's try to launch the instance. And then what are we to do? We wait until the check is 2/2 and then um, okay. So let's go to the instance. Select that. No, no need to even select that for now. Let's just open the instance and then go through. They are saying we will see a public DNS. Okay, it's here. It's right here. Okay, so copy that. Let's get back to the instance. You need to make sure the status is 2/2. Okay, that is what the lab saying. I'm not the one saying. That's telling you to wait until it's 2/2. Okay, so you can paste this one here and then allow it to load, but make sure that this web server is having 2/2 health check. So currently it's not responsive, it's not displaying anything. That is because it is still in the status of loading. So it's now in a running state, but the health check is not passed yet. So let's try refreshing this and let's see. Okay, it's still initializing. Allow it to initialize because of the web application we are deploying on it. It might take some time in downloading it. Okay, good. You can see that we now have access to what to the inventory page, even though it's telling you that unable to retrieve. Let me do this. Let me put this one here, and then let me maximize this for you. You are seeing that it is telling you that unable to what unable to retrieve AWS credentials. Please assign an IAM role to this instance. Now, when we come back to the instance, IAM role is already assigned. So it happened to me formally, which I'm suspecting that the lab need to be updated. Sometimes the lab, because it's an old lab, things have been updated, but it's not yet integrated yet. You see, because IAM role is kindly added here, you can see that inventory app role, even this is the instance. So when we open the instance, we can still see the IAM role right there. When we open the instance like this, we can see it here that a role is what is attached to it. Go up. We've gone down too much. So a row is attached to it. Likewise, if you select it like this, let's say if I select the instance, if I select the instance like this, I can also come back to actions and then security and then modify IAM rule. Modify IAM rule, you realize that I already have an IAM rule here already. Okay, so you can see that IAM rule is already here. Okay, inventory app rule, which they require. So let me click on update and then let's see if maybe that is going to work. If that doesn't work, you will still get your marks. I've already tried that and I got my marks because it's not really, they just want to know that if you don't get up to this stage, that is where you get the problem. But if you get up to that stage and then you have an error, you still be okay. So it's still the same, even though it's telling us to assign an IAM role. We have already assigned that, as I told you. It could be an error which they might be have a look at it and then fix it. So this is all about the lab. Okay, this is all about that. That is the guided lab for Model 6. So don't forget to like the video, comment, and then share with your friends who are also having difficulties in doing the lab. It's simple as that. Okay, so don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to my channel. If you do that, it helps the algorithm help push this video to anyone who is looking for this solution. That is why I always ask you to either share, comment, or like the video so that the algorithm will not be wicked to you. Yes. So thank you all. If you have any problem, leave it as a comment. I'll try my best to address that for you. And then if you are having issues for this to display, then kindly go back to your route tables, check your things that the way you are routing them. It could be a result of that you'll be facing this issue. You could see that mine has got to do with the instance and not the route tables, which the instance also has an IAM role. I'm suspecting that the role that is being assigned is either not having the full how do I put this? It's not having like the full role to play that kind of thing that we are requesting the server to do. That is why they are writing all that. So that is what I'm looking at, which I'm not sure we'll be able to change that as well. I think this is a lab. It's not really important like that. So to show you how it works, it is now you might get your 45 marks. Let's look at it. I already have 45 marks. You can see it. I've gotten that. Let's submit once again. You see, check up here. You are seeing one attempt. So let me resubmit once again to see what I'm going to get. Just to tell you that it doesn't really matter what you do. If you get to this stage, then you qualify to get the full marks. You don't have to worry yourself. So you can see submission count is now 2. Okay, submission count is now 2. It's right here. And then let's look at the grades. So you can see the grade is 45 over 45. Okay, still updated is now the full. This second one has been updated. If you want to leave that, let me refresh this. You see that the count or the attempt is going to be 2. You can see that attempt is 2. Okay, so that is all for this lab. Kindly subscribe, like, and then comment. If you have any grievances, don't forget to let me know. I'll come in and help you. Thank you all. See you next time.